Y'all, unapologetically poetic. I'm Chelsea, and I have Myesha here joining me tonight. We are going to talk about topic for tonight is why men great till they gotta be great. Okay, so I'm excited about tonight. I don't know about y'all because like I've been bragging on Myesha, like she's beautiful. Look at her. You know her voice. She sings. Everything about her is beautiful, and I'm excited for y'all to hear what she has to say. Like I said, this platform is for us to be able to help build each other up. You understand what I'm saying? You have a voice, so let that voice be heard. So without further ado, because y'all know I talk too much and I can keep going into this. I want to hear what Myesha has to say, and if y'all have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop it below, and maybe we can join in on the live. So Myesha, tell us about you first. Everything that you have going on outside writing. Tell me about you, girl. Let me hear it. Let them hear it.
Well, you know, but I'll tell you guys, I am a mother. Well, first a wife. I'm a wife. It'll be 8 years this December. Oh my goodness.
Woo, Lord. Thank God for that. You know,
Right.
going on 3.
Yes, thank you, Lord. And we have 5 beautiful but busy children. They are all under the age of 8. Well, let's see, 7, 6, 5, 3, and 1. And I don't work. So basically,
I'm trying to get on your level.
my hustle, I try to hustle every legal way I can.
Uh-huh.
That's basically what it is. So I brought you a gift. I do shirts. Let me show y'all.
Oh, I like gifts. I like gifts now.
So I had to make my sis something.
Oh.
I'll show you first, and then you can.
Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, Aisha. Y'all look at this. Look at unapologetically poetic. Yes. Vibes, y'all. This is
This
dope.
the vibe.
Y'all already know. Like I'm extra. Like this is dope. Let me hold on. Look, do not play. Official. Do you hear me? I love it.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, I started doing shirts from one of our mutual friends. She was still my best friend. She came. Well, actually, she called me one day. She said, God told me that it's time for me to get you out this house and teach you this. So come on.
Hey, what is that? Building your
Yes,
circle and the
yes.
people around you. Yes.
It's so real. I fell in love with it, and I haven't stopped since. And let me see, writing. I think I've always written since I was, I look at my 7-year-old now, Allie. She likes to write. So I think it's just a family thing. My mom writes. I have a cousin that's an author, a published author, Latita Wagner.
That's gonna be on here.
Yes,
next
y'all need
week.
to check her books out.
Dope. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, short stories is kind of my area because I get bored quickly, real quick. So I've never written a full book, a full story. And then what else? Baking. I got into baking. First off, my mother-in-law loves to bake, and she kind of forced me into it. And then my 5-year-old, when she was 3, took an interest in it. So we started, just playing with her recipes, and then coming up with our own. And now we all love it. The whole house be ready when I get in the kitchen to bake something. So that's pretty much it.
I sure was waiting on the brownies too.
I'm sorry. Well, you had the cookies. How'd you like
Man, the cookies were, let me tell you, first of all, me and Donald almost got into a fight because, when you roll over in the middle of the night for a snack, I'm looking for the bag of cookies and it's gone. And he's like, I didn't eat it. I only ate cookies. I'm like, bro, I know I only ate 3. What the rest of them? The kids ate their bag. And it was delicious. Like,
Thank you.
I want some more. Like, you're gonna have to hook us sister.
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
So, okay, now that we know all about Ish, you're a jack of all trades, queen of all trades. You're doing everything. You're writing, you're making your shirts. What about your bath bomb?
You know, I haven't been doing them, and I actually tried to get back into like skincare and all that, but I take that so serious, you know. So I feel like I can't just do that real quick. Like I can whip up a batch of cookies or some brownies, because that's so serious to me when you messing with people's skin and their, especially women's health, because I don't want to throw off any pH balance or cause agitation, irritation, anything like that. So that's still like big part of my heart. So soon.
So basically, what I'm getting is your t-shirts and your baking is your hustle for the ultimate goal.
Right.
Ah.
That is my baby. Skincare.
Yes.
From the face on down, that's my baby. So
yes.
I gotta.
You're gonna have to come back and promote that because I actually have been looking for something for my skin because I'm like getting into this little natural thing now. You know, I'm getting old, so the older you get, it's like, all right, I need to start taking care of my skin for real before skin starts sagging and wrinkles and all of that. So I want you to come back and like let us see some of that because I applaud you for you doing your your mild hustles for that grand hustle because I'm doing the exact same thing. I still have my ultimate big picture, but I got to get, I got to make hustles to get there. Exactly. So, okay. Well, tell us about, why men great till they gotta be great. Why are you touching on this and then go into your story so we can, give us a little something.
I think because, the song, Lizzo, she did a thing with that song. I think is it still number one on the charts?
I'm not sure, but I
female R&B artist. But it's a great song, and the topic in itself is just a topic that's always relevant. It will never be something that we can't talk about.
Sure.
So when you asked, about a topic, I was just like, hey, why men great so they gotta be great, And it can be so many different. People always think about a relationship when it comes to that, a male-female relationship, a couple. It's so many more outlets to that. Why men great gotta be great. You could be talking about your doctor, you know what I'm saying? You could be talking about a woman or just the man period, a human. So I came up with a little story for you guys. Let me get it. It's in my phone. And it's short and sweet.
Are y'all excited?
Let me see. I started doing when we came up with. Okay, if I pronounce this wrong, y'all forgive me. But in English is topics of Black queens, but we decided to use the French translation, which is les sujets de Renoir.
Ah, you got it! Because I was like, topics of Black queens.
I had to YouTube that and listen to the pronunciation word by word.
Okay. Because I'm like, oh Lord, I just don't know how to say this.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read my little story, and I'm gonna be very animated. Okay. So it's why men great, so they gotta be great. Okay, so here's the deal. There's no mystery to this story. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Why men great, so they gotta be great. You know what I mean? Like, I have a little scenario of my own that I can run through for you real quick. Oh, wait. You probably want to know my name and who I am, what I look like, all that good stuff. So here you go. Stop being nosy. Dang. You thought I was just about to tell a whole heap of strangers who I am and why? Nah, I ain't gonna be able to do that. But what I will tell you is how men really do be great until they gotta be great. So it's really a long story, but I'm gonna make it short for you. My mother raised me on her own like the queen that she is because my father was never around. Up until I was today years old, I was under the assumption that my father was dead. He can't be though. Because I saw him today and I know I'm not tripping. I was leaving work today, right? walking to my car when I accidentally brushed up against a man in passing. When I looked up, he was looking at me, and when our eyes met, we both looked like we had seen a ghost. I thought for sure I was just tired from working so hard and just needed to hurry home for some rest. Excuse me, I managed to let out as I desperately wished my brain would communicate with my feet that it was now time to walk away. But it didn't. They didn't. I didn't move. I stood there stuck as the man's look changed into a mix of worry and agitation before he just turned around altogether and walked off, without another word or even a look back. My body suddenly seemed to understand the signals that my brain was sending again, and when I tell you every emotion ran through my body within seconds, I just about ran the rest of the distance to my car. As a matter of fact, I did run, and when I got to the door, I was so nervous that I forgot I didn't have to actually unlock the door with the key. So after stumbling over my own keys and door for what felt like forever, I finally got inside and sat in the driver's seat and just cried. I cried like a baby. Everything in me was screaming that I had just laid eyes on my biological father for the very first time. But the doubt and lack of faith in me told me I was only tripping, and hard at that. I began to drive in complete silence. I didn't play music, didn't sing, didn't call anyone. I just drove. I drove until I found myself at the graveyard that my mother was buried in. Almost zombie-like, I got out of the car and walked to her headstone. I knelt down, face buried in my hands, and just sobbed. I was so confused, my thoughts were crowding me, and just when I was about to scream out at my deceased mother, I felt a touch on my shoulder that literally made my soul jump out of my body. I turned around to see that it was the exact same man staring at me. Same creamy brown complexion as mine, same almond-shaped eyes, same flared nose, and even the same curly hair. Anger is the first emotion that came forth as I stood full of rage and began fighting him. All I could remember is beating his chest and screaming, why? I mean, like, he knew he was my father. My mom had lied to me until the death of her. I needed answers, but I also wanted this nigga dead. So after taking way too many licks to his chest and even a few blows to the face, he finally stopped me by grabbing my wrist, calming the chaos. I couldn't even put up any more fight. I caved into his chest and cried as he held me for what seemed like hours. Okay, so pause. This is supposed to be a short story. And y'all letting me go all into detail. My little feelings was hurt, shucks. So just to finish this up, we sat in his truck and talked for hours right there at the graveyard. He was indeed my father, but he was married and I have 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister, and it was my mother's decision to keep him out of my life, and he only agreed to go along for my protection. That's what he kept saying anyways. I can't say I was understanding that or even trying to, so maybe we can all get answers together. If you want to know more, stay tuned. I'll be telling my full story soon. The end.
I told y'all that was coming with a twist. I love it. Yes, and you know what? Because so many children, but not just children, like girls in general. You understand what I'm saying? They go through that, and it always comes out. Most of the time, it comes out to where it's the mom's decision,
right?
Whether it may be because she was hurt from the relationship, or that he just wasn't doing enough or being there enough as he should. So it's like, you're not gonna be in and out of my daughter's life. You understand what I'm saying? And then people don't understand that women, when girls are raised without their father, like a daddy is needed just as much as a mom. You understand what I'm saying?
Very much so.
Yes, because the boys need to learn how to be a man. Women, they can be single mothers and they raise their boys and everything, but you can't give them exactly what their father would give them. A man would give them. And as far as a little girl, like, she's gonna go out into the world not knowing what type of man that she should be dealing with or should accept.
How she should be treated and loved. It's a lot. When you don't have your dad, and even if it's not the type of situation in my story, any type of situation, it's a struggle.
It is, because as far as my situation, I'm not sure how what was the reason on why my dad wasn't there 100% the way that I needed him. But when I was 16, I was there with him for about maybe 2 years. But and then I went out into the world and I moved on into this relationship that I was physically and verbally abused, you know, and I now as an adult I can understand this because I did not know what to look for in a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for love, and that's what we do. We look for love, but it's the wrong type of love because it's something that we missed growing up. You know, so I really like that you gave it that type of twist because so many people are expecting conversations to always be about a couple's it's like why he cheating, like it ain't always about that, you know what I'm saying? I want you, I know this is about to be a shock, because you know you've already promoted your shirt. I didn't get my brownies, but I'm good. We've heard your story, and I want to hear your voice.
You want me to sing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Do y'all want to hear Isha sing?
Oh Lord, why y'all doing this to me?
We want to hear your beautiful voice. You always uploading videos when you're in your zone singing, and I just wanna get, you know.
That's my pull through, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my place I go to when I'm like, okay, God, look, I need you, you know. I'll just do a little bit of Give Me You. Okay. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Give me you. I hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Say, give me you. Everything else can wait. Oh Lord, give me you. I hope I'm not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. It's me, oh Lord. I'm on my knees, crying out to you. It's me, oh Lord. I'm on my knees, so give me you. Give me you. Said give me you. Everything else must wait. Oh Lord, give me you. I hope I'm not too late.
Girl, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love your voice, Isha. Girl, I love your voice.
Thank you.
You need to start making more videos. Like you need to really start putting yourself out there more in everything that you do because I see the drive in you. And knowing you personally, I know you're a beautiful soul. So do whatever it takes to keep pushing forward and keep that main goal. You understand what I'm saying? If skincare is it's it for you, well shit. If you got I don't care how many shirts you got to make and sell, you know, baking, whatever, like do whatever it takes to get to that main goal, no matter what. Don't give up on that because I can just from you talking about it, I can see the passion that you have for it. You understand what I'm saying? So keep pushing, and God's going to continue to bless you the way that He is.
Putting it out there, I feel like, especially if you're not ready, it's just like letting the world take it and do what it wants with it. You know, so it's kind of like I want to make sure I'm completely ready. So writing is still kind of like, you know, just when I like if my sister asks, or if it's something that I'm getting off my chest, and then cookies and brownies. I'm always willing to bake. If you want to order, you can hit me up on my Facebook Messenger. Myesha Celestine is my name on Facebook. Just tell me, what you want, how many you want.
And she is really a hot topic when it comes to that baking. So, y'all might want to hit up, because everybody be on it.
Yeah.
Like, as far as your writing, like, just the way you came on it, it's very different, and that's what I love about it, because your work is so unique and it's different, and I really see you pushing that. I really see you pushing that, whether it's through poetry or short story, a book of short stories. Like, I can see you pushing it because it's different. Anybody can write. I feel I don't want to say anybody, but the urban books.
Right.
Because so much of them, or they sound the same, or they have the same type of dialogue or story. Exactly. But like the way that you twist stuff up is so unique, and I love that, because like I said, and I'll continue to say, you just never know who exactly is going through these things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many women out here that men love to call hoes, or men love to disrespect, or they don't, because they don't know the type of love that they deserve, because they haven't got a chance to know them for themselves. Exactly. So mothers, we do a bomb ass job, but that father in the household, it makes a huge difference. I cannot stress that enough. Not saying that anyone should sit there and deal with any kind of abuse or cheating or anything like that. But if it's worth it, I always say, if it's worth it, fight for it and work for it, especially if you have children, because this is what children need, that two-parent household.
It's necessary. That's the way it was written in the word. Go back to Genesis. It was man, it was woman, and hey, we reproduce, create. That's what we were meant to do, and do it together. To touch bases on what you said about the father being in the household, don't just be there. Be there. You work, I understand you're tired, but make time for your children. Take them on dates individually. Take them places. You know what I'm saying? Get to know them for yourself, who they are, when it's just you and them. What they like to do. Get to know your children, mommies and daddies, because they need you. These babies, especially in the day and time we live in now, the world is totally different from what we grew up in.
And we just grew up.
Yes, it's scary. Just imagine how it's going to be when they're our age. So.
Exactly. And I always say that, like, you can be there but not really be there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Your presence is just there, but you don't know your child. You don't know anything about your children. You don't let them sit there and just talk your ear off, and that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to actually, like, be in the midst. And help them grow, because like you said, the world is like, it really is scary.
You beat your children and they're used to that beating at home. When they go out into the world, they're going to be used to it. My mama did this, I took that. Nothing will affect them. They will go to jail and not be affected, because they basically been in jail their whole life. They will fight for unnecessary reasons. Only fight if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be starting fights just because that's what they used to. They used to getting fought on. They want to fight back. They can't hit their mama. They're not gonna hit their mama, or most of them won't. But I feel like it's consequences to everything.
Because I've been writing since I was a little kid, and how I started writing was when I would get my ass toe up. Like, I would go in the room and I would start writing, because I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't do nothing else. I'm reading the Bible or I'm writing.
Yeah, so it's an outlet.
Yes, it really is. And then after that, once I got into doing it more often, I started LaToya. Toya's one of my best friends, and I started writing for her. She would get me to write, like, little poems for her little friends, whatever that she liked. I would write the poetry. And then my grandmother, Lord rest her soul, like, I showed her my work, and she was like, whatever you do, you need to keep writing. So it was never about the books, I don't believe, because whenever I started writing the books, I actually told Donald, like, this is just my way of getting my feet wet. You get myself out there, into the world, getting in that door or whatever, because I'll write, I've written the urban, but that's just not really me. Like when I write, I want to be able to express myself the way that I want to inspire somebody. You know what I'm saying? I write from experiences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the stuff I was writing about, girl, I had to go Google and, what's this place in New York and all of, it was just, I wanted to flow. I wanted to just come naturally. So, with me being able to like do these podcasts and stuff now, I couldn't do that because I'm so in my shell myself. You understand what I'm saying? It may not seem like it, and everybody think, oh, Chelsea is so friendly and she's so outspoken. It's like, no, like I battle with this sometimes too. I was nervous like right before we got started with this or whatever, but I've learned to tell myself nobody is stopping you but you. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
You are stopping yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I used to worry about like, okay, if I put this poem out and I put it out, what is people going to say about it? And I find myself going back and checking because I used to put poems on Facebook, and I used to go back and did somebody like it? Did somebody comment? Did somebody do this? And worrying about too much about what
people's validation.
Exactly. So now, and the further that I'm getting into this, it's like, okay, God, I see you. You know what I'm saying? You waking me up. Like I'm rising now. Like you're waking me up. And no matter how small people may see it, and that goes for you too. No matter how small people may see, it's not about what people perceive. It's about how you feel about it. And you're going to continue to blossom and grow. And you're going to continue to climb up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about what they're going to see or whatever. It's about how you feel within yourself. And God is going to continue to bless you as long as you stay close to Him. Because, me and my husband been together going on 10 years, and we've been married going on 3 years. And I mean, we've had our rockiness. You know what I'm saying? We had one kid, and then boom, we had it right back. We got 3 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? And when we started out, we were really young, like 21 years. I was 21 years old, so we had to learn to grow with each other. What was the meaning of growing with each other and learning each other? And now we're at this space. We've been through so many things, and we're at this space. I'm like, ain't nobody stopping this.
Right.
You gonna do right. I'm gonna do right, and that means to do right by each other, do right by our children, do right by our family. Like whatever that means. And God's gonna continue to bless us. And when I tell you, we constantly like making sure we stay on the right path because we were separated for a year. You understand what I'm saying? And it was like one of the worst moments of my life because I was at the stage where, he doing him, so I'm going to finally get my revenge back. And that made me feel like this. And I don't ever want to get back in the space where I feel like I'm trying to get revenge back on somebody else because it literally made me feel like this. I was disgusted with myself or whatever because that's not me. Whatever my revenge may have been, either way, I was doing it out of spite.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now we're in this space, and God is just opening these doors, and He opening these doors. And I don't care what nobody think about my experiences.
Right. I mean, and then what would be the point of going through them if you can't help somebody else?
And that's the point of going through them, baby. Like, what do you believe that your purpose is? God gives you a purpose. What do you think your struggle is for? Like, how are you gonna be able to help somebody come out of something if you ain't never been through it? I can't tell you somebody that I don't know.
I just watched a video today. I shared it on Facebook, and it was this man. He looked like, homeless person. I'm not sure if he was or not. I think he did say that he was homeless at one point in the video. But he was just saying how we all get so caught up in making it to success, making it to that point, whatever that point is, that we miss the steps along the way. We forget to be humble. We miss that person on the street that we should have talked to, that we could have gotten so much wisdom from. We miss the fact that in order to know better, be better, we have to know better. That means we may be a fool, but we got to come up out of there. You can't stay a fool forever, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to go through things. Everything you go through is for you to learn and for you to teach somebody else.
Exactly. And it's exactly why you should keep writing your poetry. So we can collide. Yeah. That's exactly why you should keep writing your poetry. And especially if it's an outlet for you. You know what I'm saying? And then just your experiences. Like, I wrote something recently that's on my podcast about physical abuse that I went through, and that's why I say just write from your experience. I'm not saying that you went through that, but just write from it because the world is huge. You never know, like, even if it don't reach 1,000 people, if it reaches just that one person that was going through that, and okay, now I know that it is possible to get away from a situation. You know what I'm saying? You just never know how you can open them up for them to be able to get the strength to be able to move on from whatever it is, whether it's depression, anxiety, losing a loved one, any of that. So keep writing, keep baking, make sure you look a sister up. I love my shirt, and I'm gonna show y'all one more time because I really do love it. Unapologetically poetic vibes. So I really love my shirt.